Welcome to the Data Science with R. We are now discussing about this Unit 4, and we need to look into what is or what will be the sum of the data science techniques. So in this data science techniques, we need to look at what will be the data analysis and is there any difference between data analysis and analytics. Then we need to work on what will be descriptive analysis and what will be the components which are working towards descriptive analysis. That is, it can be the variable way of representation, followed by frequency distribution, measures of central tendency, and dispersion of distribution. Thereby, we will look at the other way, that is the diagnosis analytics, predictive analysis, prospective analysis, exploratory analysis, and mechanistic analysis. So these will be the most important primitives that take part in the data analytics part. So first of all, let us begin with what was data analytics. So it is the process of examining and analyzing the raw data. So that was the first definition what we can take up, that it is going to be the process of examining and analyzing the raw data. So when you are going to say it is raw data, now it need to construct some meaningful in, uh, uh, inclusions or bring this to the form of information by applying some set of pre-processing, etc. So from analytics, what will be the things can be taken up? It will be a drawing of a conclusions. Two, it will derive more useful information. Three, why we are going to use this analytics was it is going to improve business products and business services. So this data analytics is widely and mostly used by the data scientists and researchers with some specific models and specific theories. And another way to put this data analytics was we need to make some decisions. We need to make some scientific decisions over the business operations. So what will happen, how it is going to happen with some of the way of diagnosis, prospective, predictive. So all these, they are going to be the main illustrations which are going to be part of this data analytics. So why data analytics is going to play a major role was that we need to analyze the data, we need to gain profits from the data, and obviously to better use the resources, and thereby we need to improve the managerial operations. So all this holistic approach, we are working with this data analytics. So when coming to the data analytics, there was a life cycle which need to be interpreted, as we have the knowledge discovery in databases, the KDD process in the data mining. Similarly, for the data analytics, a more or less a similar approach is also going to be railed down towards the data analytics life cycle. The very first aspect will be the discovery. So in this discovery, we should be in a position to learn about business domains and the available resources, what are going to be preempted. So we need to understand why we are going to do this from the raw data, so we have the available resources, and that should be understood, that should be logically analyzed. So how insights are going to be gained to that specific business domain, that it need to be highlighted. The next very way of the data analytics life cycle will be the data pre-processing. So in data pre-processing, now the raw data to be cleaned, we need to clean the data. So in order to clean the data, yeah, we are going to apply this data pre-processing techniques. So in this, we are going to use extraction, transformation, and loading. So extraction, loading, and transformation. So we extract the data, then we understand the data, we load the data for the analysis, and we transform it to a uniform scality. So what we have discussed in our pre-discussions of how we take up the data cleaning, data reduction, and all the other aspects. Okay, so now the data was here at this was raw. Now after the pre-processing, now the data, it is going to be pure. So now it is ready to do analysis. As it is going to be ready to do analysis, the next thing was we need to plan the model. So what type of model we can identify, or we can rail, so that we get the correct implications over the data. So that's what you are going to understand the relationships, etc. So we make some correlation analysis, we use some hypothesis, so we make some tests, etc. So p-test, ANOVA test. So all these aspects, they are going to see that understanding the data and what type of tests. So it can be ANOVA or p-test or t-test. So what type of tests need to be planned so that we can build a model. And yeah, we are taking a raw data at the stage one, then it is converted to pure data. Then we made a hypothesis, we made some correlations, etc. The next stage was to take up towards the model building. So in model building, we will look to plan a model that it can be a clustering, which is going to be part of unsupervised learning, or it can be supervised learning. So this is unsupervised. So we have a classification or association techniques where we need to build up with this model. So when building the model, we take up the data and distribute this data for greater inferences with the training set and testing set. Yeah, after that, the next stage was to look up with the communication skills. So whether the findings were really meaningful, whether the findings has been really communicated or not to the stakeholder. So that it is going to be taken up. So output, they are going to be in visualized in form of tables, in form of graphs. So the insights has to be given up. So what are the key findings from the database, that it should be narrated to the stakeholders. And finally, yeah, we need to make some technical documentation, because the next people, whoever are going to use the model, they should be in a position to understand the model. Why did you do that? You need to give some justification. You need to build some justification, so that what will be the final report. So how to deliberate it to the actionable items, and it is towards a maintaining, etc. So we call that as an operationalable. So a data analytics cycle, it takes up with discovery, pre-processing, model building, model planning, communication results, and operationable items. Yeah. So when we talk about this data analytics to understand the raw data and to get the meaningful insights, now in this, in order to take a workflow, we do have, there are 4 steps what we need to understand. The very first step was to look with this descriptive analysis. The second one was to understand the diagnosis analysis. Third thing was towards the predictive analysis, and fourth one will be the prospective analysis. So these four analysis, they are going to play a major role towards data science or towards the data analytics. So as coming to this descriptive analysis, we go with some statistical inferences. So what has happened? What was the root cause? What was the root cause? So where we are going to analyze, so what had happened, we need to understand. Next one, why did it cause? So, or why did it happen. So when we are going to check up with this diagnosis, we do diagnose, we do trace. So the actual reason, uh, we need to identify the actual reason. So that is where this diagnosis analytics is going to happen. So we make mean, median, mode, correlation analysis, some inferential statistic analysis. Those are all going to take part in this descriptive analysis to describe the data. So how the data was there, what data types it is going to use, what attributes are there. So how is the data spread, how is the dispersion, how is the central tendency, everything, how is the variance, mean, mode, standard deviation. So all these aspects, they are going to be to put how exactly the data was. So that is where this descriptive analysis is going to bring out. The next one was to identify what will be the root causes. So why did it happen, etc. So that is where this diagnosis is going to happen. Okay, now you understood the problem. Now you need to go for recommendation. Now we need to go for the recommendation. So in this diagnosis analysis, we are going to do some model building, and we are going to have quick insights. So we get insights on what was happened in the data. So why did it happen, etc. Everything is going to be answered with this diagnosis analysis. Now, next thing was to go out with predictive analysis. Okay, now I need to say actions to be taken, or we need to make some decision making at this time. What will happen? So you need to see, you need to have some prediction. So if I'm going to do this, so it is like what the doctor is going to give, that is like prescription. So a disease was identified, disease was traced, and then to see that the disease is out from a body. So doctors, they give or recommend some tablets or medicines, etc. So that is what we call it as a prescription. That is what will happen. Yeah, the what will happen was that, yeah, you need to get some recommendation. So at that instance of time, in order to get some deliberates, in order to take some decisions over the data, so that is where this predictive analysis is going to happen. And now the upcoming area was how we can make it happen. So here at this point of time, we make forecasting, we make prediction, and we are going to make a comparison of the previous decisions, and we will make the previous decisions what are there. So and we will decide the decisions taken are correct or not, and then according to that we will modify the decisions, and that is where this prospective analysis is going to happen. Similarly, in order to increase, so in order to increase the revenue, etc., so people, they are going to use this prospective analysis. So it is how future insight can be. So all this part, this is the data analytics is going to address. Yeah, the very first word was to put up before you will be the descriptive analysis. So descriptive analysis, yeah, it is going to design to access information about the past. So what has happened inside the data, that is what we are going to bring it in this scenario. So what is going to happen in the past? So a diagrammatic representation, we are now putting this. So it should be in a very convenient way to understand how the data was. And second thing was we need to get summarizing. So how we are going to get the summarizing was we can have some mean, some standard deviation, some variance, etc. So we get a consolidated identification over the data. So we need to have a summarized facts, what was happening, etc. Yeah, as mentioned, in order to do this descriptive analysis, it is not so easy. So we purely work with some statistical inferences that we do up with the data aggregation, or we go up with the data mining techniques. So that is where this descriptive analysis is going to give up the things. So it is the process of gathering and expressing information in form of summarized forms. So we get within form of tables, etc. We get a quick summary, we get a overview with some statistical operations. So in order to do that statistical operations, it is relying on some tools like Microsoft Excel, MATLAB, SPSS, statistical, social sciences packages, and Stata, some of a proprietary software. So all these we are going to use some of the tools in order to get some insights with the descriptive analysis. And then a report is generated to justify what was inside the data. So that is all regarding the descriptive analysis. Okay, we have taken up the first phase, that is the descriptive analysis. After descriptive analysis, next we need to identify the diagnosis. So diagnosis, it is going to help us to identify why something happened in the past. So what was the pattern, or how or why it is going to happen in the pattern. So where it went down, we need to identify the cause. We need to identify the cause. So in the past, why did it went off? Why did it went off? So it will take a deeper look of data to understand the root cause of the event. So the actual cause of an event is going to be identified in this diagnosis. So it is going to be an ability to provide actionable insights. So as we identify the cause, next we can make a quick decisions. Okay, in order to answer the cause, so what will be the things to be recommended? So for that we are going to make this diagnosis analysis. So similarly, it is going to make an understanding of causal relations and sequence. So you can identify up, down, up, down. In this way, we are able to find some causal relations or some patterns in the data is also going to be diagnosed. Fine. When we work with this diagnostic analysis, there are analogies which will work with this drill down techniques. So in drill down, we will dig deep into what was happening. Or I can just say that if I'm going to say quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So this is drill up. We call it as a drill up. Now I will quarter 1, I can call it as April, May, June, July. Then I can say August, September, October, November. This is December, January, February. So now what we are going to March, and so what we are going to bring at this scenario was that, so at this drill down, we are talking that it should be in form of financial data. So it is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So I can start with April, May, June, then it is July, August, September, then it is October, November, December, then January, February, March. So putting this 1, 2, 3, 4, we call it as a drill up. But now I can say putting the months here directly, so we call it as a drill down. So we narrow down, we are going to narrow down and analyze the root cause. So that is where this drill down is going to purposely intended. And similarly, we will find the data dictionary where we are going to call it as a metadata, and the metadata, it sees that how the attribute is defined and how it can be used, whether it is a nominal value, ordinal value, like that. And similarly, we find the relationship. We find the relationship between attributes. So that is where this correlation is going to happen. So is there any relationship between height and relationship between weight? So yeah, there is a relationship between height and weight. Then only now you can say these two attributes, they are going to be correlated with one another in order to get the body mass index, etc. Similarly, we use the data mining techniques, that it can be some association, it can be the classification, or it can be the clustering techniques. So there we all apply with this diagnostic analysis. So the way what we were talking was that diagnostic analysis, yeah, it is going to discover the causal relationship between the two or more data sets. So this is data set 1, another data set 2. Yeah, we find this causal relationship between attribute 1, attribute 2, and similarly in another attribute to 1 or 2. So it is going to concern with some day-to-day operations. So that was the pure advantage of why this diagnostic analysis is going to help the content. After diagnostic analysis, the next one was the predictive analysis. So predictive was that we need to predict something, we need to make some forecasting, we need to forecast the future. How we are going to forecast the future was, we need to have how will be the outcomes. So in order to understand how will be the outcomes, we need to trigger out with identifying the probability whether an event will repeat again or not. So one of an example was analyzing a sentiment and see all the opinions and whether it is going to repeat it again or not. So in this way, we are going to predict a person of what category he is, so that it is going to taken up. So it is going to identify target audience for promotional campaign. Who will be some of the right audience uh, to go for a campaign? So when we watch some YouTube videos, etc., we get an ads. So those are all ads are going to be customized ads. So we have seen something, the relevant information is taken up. Similarly, Amazon or Flipkart, when we do Googling and we see that we want to purchase a mobile phone, some other day we open some website, so immediately our buying pattern, what happened in the past, so the any upcoming mobiles, etc., they will be displayed in the advertisement window below or left or right. So because they understood us, they felt that we are our target audience and they are going to give us the recommendations at that moment of time. So that is where this predictive analysis is happening. So similarly, predictive analysis, yeah, it can be used for weather forecast and travel recommendations, etc. So these are some of the phases where predictive analysis is going to happen. Okay, fine. We want to do some predictive analysis. So in order to conduct the predictive analysis, how we are going to conduct and what will be the tools which are going to act. So in predictive analysis, we use the machine learning algorithms such as random forests or such as support vector machine. So the bulk of decision tree is now put together. So that is where this random forest is taking. So multiple classes, multiple rules are going to raise in a random forest, which is an extension version of the binary trees. And the support vector version, yeah, it is going to separate two classes with a mere possibility with membership, whether it falls into class 1 or whether it falls into class 2. So where we have a support vector machine. So such type of algorithms, they are going to fall in the predictive analysis. And yeah, they are purely built by this the set data scientists. They are purely trained on how to build the models. So that is where this machine learning experts are going to give up and build the models. In order to implement this predictive tools, now the trending terms will be the R language, the Python language, the RapidMiner, the Informatica. So there are proprietary versions, there are paid versions. So a number of tools, but in popular we have this R or Python or RapidMiner. So these are some of the tools which are going to happen for predictive analysis. Okay, now the next one was the prescriptive analysis. So in this prescriptive analysis, so we need to work with some chain here. So this prescriptive analysis is a novel concept which has been implemented in these recent days. So as this prescriptive analysis, earlier we do have only three models. One, it will be the finding the old patterns, then discovering the content, and then we go with the this predictive analysis. But prescriptive analysis is something which has been railed down. So it is going to provide us solutions for a prediction in the future. So we have taken the decision what will happen to the next, but still there are providing a very effective solutions for the prediction which will happen in the future. So, and second thing was it is going to provide a feedback system that it is going to give a relationship between actions and outcomes. So based upon the previous content, what will happen? You have taken a decision, and whether the decision was strong, whether the decision has been an effective outcome or not, a feedback mechanism is going to be supported. So that is where this prescriptive analysis is going to have its much play over the data. So another one was it is going to help the optimal recommendations. So in order to do this decision making, so it goes with making optimal decision making. So it is doing some recommendations, etc. So that is where this prescriptive analysis is taking up. And then we are going to have the mitigating the possibility risk based on a predictive analysis. So yeah, first stage was we are going to provide a solutions to the predictions to the future. Second one, we made a relationship between actionable outcomes and the actions. We made a feedback mechanism whether they are correct or not. Third thing, it is going to help up to make a decision making. And fourth one, if it is going to estimate the error, it is going to estimate the error or loss. So where we are going to identify that word here as a risk here. So how much risk should be borne, so if the problem or model is not going to be implemented. So yeah, there is a chance for a risk, and that it is going to analyze. So actually the other step was it is going to suggest favorable solutions and ease decision making process. Not only to give only a single decision and implement, but it is going to give up a set of rules, set of bunch of decisions and a optimal values for that, and which decision can be taken up basing some score. So this, if you take this decision, this will be the score, that is 90%. If you take this decision, 85% chances are there. So in this way it is going to give up the score and thereby suggest a favorable decisions to that model. So that was the basic need why this prescriptive is going to take up. Yeah, it is going to be the final frontiers of advanced analytics. So this is what we were talking about, that this prescriptive analysis is a novel issue which has been implemented into the industry to understand the patterns, to understand the behavior and correlate between the taken decisions and the feedback and how the outcomes had made over the decision. So in this way, this prescriptive analysis was so strongly superimposed. And yeah, nowadays these are going to be taken up in the form of recommendation engines. So even it is going to give up some recommendations. This will be the best decision to take at this point of time. So it is a suggestive mechanism is going to be given towards this prescriptive analysis. So holistically, prescriptive analysis, it takes up with giving up a solution, taking up actions, outcomes, and taking up a mechanism, and giving up a decision, and estimating the risk. Not only single decision, with the weighted decisions it can take, and helps in the advanced analytics. And finally, it even recommends the system you take this decision to move to the next level. In this way, this prescriptive analysis is going to happen. So it is now still at the budding state, and it is not at full-fledgedly implemented at this point of time. So it is going to pave way for the developments, etc. The most of the terminology what we are going to use in this data analytics, the very first thing, it is going to be the observation. So observation, it is going to be with a single row or a record of our database. So we have some sample here. So every record is a sample. So every observation, yeah, it is going to be maintained as a single row, as a tuple in form of a database. What we can say, this is what we are going to have this collection. We call it as a data set. So we have the collection of these observations. So we are now forming it as a database or a data set. So that is the stage one. So next one was that in this observation, we are building up the database tables. We do have these age, height, nationality, gender. So these items, they are called as variables, or we are going to call it as column names. And thereby we are going to have these records, or we call them as rows. So observation is just going to be one entity or a unit of analysis used to be measured cases, records, patterns, rows, etc. So all that it is going to take up with the observation. So this target population, what we are going to put, it is going to be called as the data set. So it is collection of observations. From that, we need to pick up samples. That is, randomly we are going to put up some samples. So I can see in this entire population, I am a red shirt person, I pick one. In the entire yellow shirts, I pick one. So in the white shirts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I pick one white shirt. So in this way, we from one certain segment, we are going to pull up one sample and try to analyze what was in the data, or how the data is going to be there. So we are not taking the entire data set. We are going to take one little sample here. So why we are going to use this sample was used to select, manipulate, and analyze the subset of points. So from the main set, that is what we call it as target population, we are going to take up subset for analysis. So why we are going to do that? We want to identify the pattern, and we want to identify the trend inside the population, trend inside the observations, trend inside the data set. So how we can pick up the sample, etc. Yeah, of course, there are data sampling. There are a lot of methods in this data sampling. So one of that set category, we call it as a random. So randomly we are going to take up one sample here. I am going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the brown color, in the orange color. So that it is going to be taken as a sample. And similarly, we pick up the blue color of the sample. So why did I take only this item? Why not the other? Because it is what we call it as a random way of picking up the items. So any random value can be chosen to be a part of a sample, but there are some ways in picking up the samples. One, we call it as random, and second, we call it as stratified, another strict stratified. So there are a lot of approaches which will be taken up one by one. So from the population, we are randomly taking up some chosen parts, and thereby we do some analytics, etc. So probably this is the most common approach the data scientists, they are going to use sampling methods in order to build their predictive models and to find the accurate results. So first of all, we will apply the things on a sample. If it is successful, then we will replicate it to the holistic population, right? As at the COVID time, you can understand the live scenarios. So people, when they taken up invented the vaccine, first of all they have taken it to some animals, thereby they have chosen some random people and they tested it, then they are applying onto the whole population. So that is where a sampling can be realistically mixed up. So next comes from the observation. Yeah, we are going to build up these data sets. It is going to be a collection of data. So whatever observations, whatever samples we are going to take, so the population, what we are going to take up, the entire population, the data captured for a particular case, now we are going to assume here as a population. So what will be a data set? It can be a medical data set, it can be a loan data set, a bank approval data sets, etc. And a data set, it can include text, it can include numerics, it can include audio, it can include video, any type of multimodal items can be a part of a data set. It is not that it does only text mining, it is not that it does only image mining. So any form of data can be taken up as a data set, and then it can be taken up to move to the next level, that is called as a prediction. So here is an example of a data set where we are going to put this value as marital status, whether he is married, whether he is not married. We are going to bring up these things. So now you can see this is what we call it as a categorical data, because it is going to have some nominal data. Why we are going to call it as nominal data? Because we are calling it as married, and of course there will be, he is a single or he is married. So that we have some categories. So that is why we put this in form of a categorical data. In this way, we need to analyze what are the variables, what are the elements, how is the data set constructed, and finally whether a loan can be given to the person or not. In this way, we are analyzing the data set. To do this prediction, there are a lot of many ways, model building, etc. One of a model building was a form of some linear regression. So in linear regression, it is like y is equals to some mx plus c. So so y is equals to mx plus c. So at this point, we take some error. So and another one, slope and interception. So interception, yeah, we call it as an error here. So why an error comes? Because the point is at this, and this is the line what we are going to bring up. So the distance, how far it is, so we get some error there. So we are going to figure out this error, and slope is what we are going to include in this equation to identify or to predict the dependent variables. So why it is assumed as a dependent variable mx plus c, yeah, we call them as an independent variables. So we are going to, the goal is to predict or to move from what has happened to provide the best assessment of what will happen. So what has happened, now we are going to put it into dots, we are putting it into relation. So now the model was built. Now when a new item is going to be taken, then we need to go for prediction. So how will this value fit, or where will this value fit? So that is what we use, and one of an example we are going to call here as a linear prediction. So that is how we are bringing. So this example, we have multiple linear contents. We have drawn a line with the two axes, but still we are able to bring up a linear relation in multiple forms. So that was the things what we have taken up for today. So uh, we started with data science techniques. So in this data science techniques, we need to understand what was data analysis and data analytics, etc. So data analysis, yeah, from the raw data, we need to pure it. Thereby, we can draw conclusions, give meaningful information, and improve some businesses, etc. So why we are going to do this analytics was to make some scientific decisions in order to gain better profits and resources for a industry at purpose. So data analytics life cycle, it is similar to the knowledge discovery of databases as mentioned in our data mining. So it does discovery, it does pre-processing, model building, model planning, model building, giving results and operationing the results. So this is what a new way of putting things before the data analytics. That is one, we call it as a descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, the predictive analysis, and the prospective analysis. So in the descriptive analysis, we talked about how to describe the data with statistical inferences. Then we tried to understand the root cause, why it has happened with the diagnostic analysis. Then it went how to solve that issue, how to predict a new outcome from that element. So we made a prescriptive analysis. Then a feedback is taken up how the decisions were actionable or not, whether it worked or not. So a feedback mechanism was collected. That is where this prescriptive analysis has taken its issue. So as mentioned, descriptive analysis, yeah, it is going to access data from the past, and it provides a summarization of views and facts. To do that, it does some aggregation, it does data mining techniques, it uses softwares like Excel, MATLAB, Stata, etc. And next comes the diagnostic analysis. So it was uh, identifying why did it happen. Patterns are going to be identified, relationships are going to be identified, a root cause is going to be understood. To do this, it goes with drilling down, discovering data mining techniques with association, classification, clustering action, and similarly, it identifies whether there is a relationship between two attributes or not, highly correlated or less correlated. In this way, it takes up. After diagnosis, the next recommendation was to predict the future and to give some actionable item. So for that, it is giving a chance whether the probability of a event, whether it can occur, how much correct the decision was. So in order to do this predictive analysis, yeah, it uses machine learning techniques like classification with random forest as support vector machine. And to do that, it does use tools like Python or a RapidMiner. And this is mostly used by data scientists, etc. The latest model which is joined in this data analytics will be the prescriptive analysis, where it is going to identify the things, better solutions for for the prediction in future. So it goes with a relationship building between action and outcomes, does decision making and estimate the error, gives a set of probable decisions, and even it is giving recommendations to take up which decision it is going to happen. So as far as terminologies in this data analytics is concerned, it is with observations for a sample, then it goes with the row definitions, column definitions, and we have the entire population we call here as a target population. I'd want to identify what went wrong or what is there in a pattern for it. So randomly choose some entity from that population. We call them as samples. We apply sampling mechanism. We apply predictive models, etc., to get actionable insights. And if it works in the sample, we reciprocate the same to the target population. So from that target population, we do have to build the data set, which it is going to be collection of those similar cases, and thereby we start analyzing the data by prediction, etc. So prediction is that what the goal of prediction is to move from what has happened to provide the best assessment of what will happen. We identify the root cause. After that, we can predict what will happen. So in this model, we are going to predict the outcomes at different levels. So this is what we have talked about this data analytics at this case.